Welcome back to Royal Tea, your front row seat to the juiciest news and gossip swirling around the British royal family. The flames dance across the royal seal as a confidential page is burned, but not before they were copied, scanned, encrypted, and slipped through digital cracks to land in the hands of the last people the crown wanted holding them. Royal Tea obtained the final will of King Charles III, unedited, unredacted, and absolutely explosive. Inside the documents, the truth is simple and brutal. King Charles has slashed Prince William's inheritance by 60%. 60%. Not redirected to George, Charlotte, or Louis. No, diverted to a scattered patchwork of strange non-profits. Chief among them, the Pagan Temple Restoration Fund, a virtually unknown group tied to esoteric historical sites across Europe. But that's just the beginning. In one clean, legally binding sentence, Prince Harry has handed full control of the Duchy of Cornwall's Caribbean holdings, prime royal land once promised to William, now under Harry's authority. Beachfront property, tourism contracts, agriculture rights, all of it gone from William's legacy. Now, it's Harry's empire. What caused this seismic shift? The will doesn't say. But sources inside the palace point to the final weeks of Charles' illness, when only a few people were allowed near him. Harry, they whisper, was among them. William was not. On the night the inheritance was revealed to the family, chaos erupted. Staff on the third floor of Balmoral heard crashing sounds coming from Prince William's private office. One insider says they saw him throw a heavy paperweight through a framed portrait of Queen Victoria. The glass shattered across the carpet. Another aide claims Kate had to physically intervene as William shouted, "After everything I've done, after all I've sacrificed, this is how he repays me." Security footage reportedly shows William storming out of the estate at exactly 3:12 a.m. Dressed in nothing but pajama pants and a coat, he disappeared into the cold Scottish night. His phone was left behind. Clause 17b is where the Sussexes truly cash in. Meghan Markle, by direct decree, inherits the late Queen Elizabeth's entire private jewelry collection, including the Cullinan diamonds, valued at $120 million. These are not ceremonial items. These are historic, personal treasures, kept in private vaults for decades, worn by the Queen at state events, and never once offered to anyone outside the direct line. The will states, in clear language, that Meghan may take possession immediately. Montecito security team confirmed that a UK-based armored transport firm was hired just 3 days ago, moving under diplomatic clearance. Cortes say Meghan has already commissioned a jeweler to inspect the stones. When asked whether they plan to return them for future royal events, her team gave no comment. But perhaps the most controversial twist of all is what Charles left for Lilibet Diana. Not money, not land, horses, all of his race horses, over 30 highly trained thoroughbreds, breeding lines going back to the Queen Mother, worth tens of millions in total. And bypassed entirely was Prince George, the direct heir, who traditionally would have inherited the royal stables. Instead, Lilibet's name is printed in bold, inked by Charles' own hand. As news of the will broke across the press, the internet exploded. Within hours, #NotMyKing began trending worldwide. Memes of William wearing a Burger King hat flooded Instagram. TikTokers created skits of George opening an empty gift box labeled inheritance. Royal forums were flooded, and one by one, experts began to weigh in, many calling this the most destabilizing act by a monarch in modern UK history. Parliament members are said to be quietly meeting in private rooms. One senior advisor to the Crown described the document as a direct provocation against the line of succession. Others believe it will never hold. But legally, the paperwork is airtight, witnessed, dated, and digitally backed. Buried deep in the final pages, obscured by legal jargon and property references, is a single clause marked private provision. It allocates an undisclosed trust, valued at £14.6 million, to an individual located in Cyprus. The name is redacted, but attaches an address and a birth date, 1995. This one line has already triggered a frenzy among royal watchers. Speculation is rampant. Whispers of a secret love child, a long-standing rumor Charles has faced before, are now resurfacing with renewed fire. No statement has been released from the palace, but insiders say the mention of Cyprus is not a coincidence. It is, reportedly, the same island Charles visited in 1994 during an unpublicized military-related tour. He traveled alone. As for Camilla, her reaction to it remains unclear. Her name is mentioned several times in passing, receiving a modest allocation of estates and properties, but nothing compared to the avalanche of assets granted to Harry, Meghan, and their children. One staff member claimed she appeared visibly stunned during the reading. She has not appeared in public since. Kate Middleton, however, has reportedly entered full lockdown mode. Sources say she's cancelled all appearances for the next month and is focusing solely on her children's well-being. She was last seen leaving Kensington Palace with her mother, Carol, and 2 security vehicles. No official comment has been made from her office. In private, though, leaks from aides suggest he is unreachable, taking long walks alone, barely speaking, and refusing to read follow-up legal analysis. There's even talk of him rejecting certain ceremonial duties in protest. His team is said to be preparing a formal rebuttal, but timing it for maximum legal effect, possibly after a parliamentary motion is introduced. Across the Atlantic, the Sussexes are celebrating. Paparazzi caught Harry smiling with Archie at the Montecito Farmers Market, while Meghan was photographed entering a private jeweler's office in Beverly Hills. Both appeared relaxed, unbothered, and firmly in control of the narrative. But without legal footing or a public statement from William, they're stuck watching the fire burn. Some argue this was Charles' final act of revenge, punishment for the cold relationship with William over the past decade. Others believe Harry may have influenced his father in those final, vulnerable months. And still others suggest something darker, that Charles, isolated, emotional, and increasingly unwell, made impulsive decisions with irreversible consequences. Calls for Parliament to intervene have grown louder. But one thing is certain, this story has only just begun. The crown is splintering. The heirs are furious. And the will that should have secured King Charles' legacy may be the document that destroys it. That's all for today's Royal Rundown. What do you think? Betrayal or bunk? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more royalty. Until next time, stay curious, Royal Watchers.